what is Yuji's true power and origin? Well, it is true that Yuji's entire family is one big mystery, and with him being the main character, it needs to be addressed before the story ends. In fact, what other manga have you read where it's reached the final saga and the MC's true purpose is still a mystery? By this point, they're meant to be the chosen one.
I'm so sick of this company.
Yuji's family tree just got even more complicated, as it was confirmed he was born with Sukuna's finger infused in him, making Yuji technically his nephew, twin, and son all at the same time. But it's true. Chapter 257 revealed something huge that was totally glossed over. Not only was Yuji's father the soul of Sukuna's twin reincarnated, but Kenjaku had also sealed Sukuna's finger inside of Yuji before his birth. Which means that if we go by the timeline, then Yuji's school actually had the second finger, Gojo then fed him the third, the juvenile detention center was the fourth, and Sukuna sneakily devoured the fifth one at Yasuhachi Bridge. During the Shibuya incident, Mimiko and Nanako offered Sukuna the sixth finger, while the 10 fingers from Jogo took the total count to 16. But Sukuna still only had access to 15 fingers at this point, and I'll explain why in a second. We all believe that Uraume fed him 4 fingers, however it was actually only 3, and Sukuna had already taken the finger sealed inside of Yuji with him when he shifted to Megumi's body. That plus eating his own mummy compensated for the last finger, which was eaten up by Rika. Now you might be wondering, why did Sukuna reincarnate so late if Yuji already had a finger in it? Well, the finger was sealed like other cursed objects that Kenjaku planted inside of the bodies of the incarnated sorcerers, and given the fact he was the one who taught Sukuna how to do this, it all makes sense. Essentially, the finger Yuji was born with had no effect and didn't activate until Kenjaku casts Idol Transfiguration in chapter 136. The same time that all of the incarnated sorcerers and non-sorcerers such as Hashimo, Yorizu, Higuruma, etc. that Kenjaku prepared for the Culling Games were activated. He even refers to the vessels with cursed objects as releasing 1,000 Yuji Itadoris into the world. This is why Yuji received a Kogane before even going into a colony in chapter 160, which said that he was a player. In other words, his body was meant to be a vessel for Sukuna even before he ate the first finger at high school. We all thought what Megumi felt in the first chapter was just the remnant cursed energy that rubbed off on Yuji due to touching Sukuna's finger, but it was the real thing after all. However, since the finger Yuji ate was already unsealed, Sukuna reincarnated early, which wasn't really an issue since the sealed finger inside Yuji's body acted as a failsafe so that Sukuna would be reincarnated no matter what once the Culling Games started. You gotta hand it to Kenjaku, right? The devil works hard, but this man, he works harder.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always!
So even though he doesn't remember it consciously, Yuji's body is trained to fight and used curse techniques like a special grade sorcerer now. This is why he will be able to grasp concepts at lightning speed, starting with Kusakabe's simple domain, which Yuji uses to battle Sukuna's domain. But if you want to enjoy even more peak fiction, watch this video about how Kafka became the strongest kaiju ever